So we don't have an.
Hey, well, good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. This is our Thursday morning business training. And
Sure, I hear you.
let's see.
Do you have your volume?
Can you guys hear me? Raise your hand if you can hear me.
Okay.
All right, good. Just checking. It's important. So yeah, today we wanted to talk about a few different things. We want to talk initially about looking for leaders. And I think that we had a juicy conversation yesterday, and Kai shared some inspirational thoughts on that. So we're going to bring him on in a moment. And then we're going to jump in and talk about conference preparation. And Liz Hodges has been behind the scenes working and creating some guidelines and some support materials for conference prep for those of us that are going to be there physically. And then we're going to shift a little bit and talk about those that are going to be there virtually and, begin the discussion about effective watch parties. So with that being said, gosh, there's a ton of people waiting to come in. So Kai, if you'd like to jump in, you've been an expert at looking and finding leaders and have built several, huge and very successful organizations. Starting and 20 years ago, you started building LifeWave, and 6 years ago, it exploded. So here we are. Over to you, brother.
Well, thank you, Gregory. Hi, everyone. I did share yesterday, and there's a really good replay. And so I don't want to just say the same thing again. So I'm going to kind of talk.
Actually, Kai, yesterday was a director call, and many of the people on here are not directors, and they can't hear that replay.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to talk about a lot of the same essential things, but maybe a little different style. So I guess that's not a replay available to everybody. Anyway, hi, everybody. And getting leaders is the most important critical thing, I think, that you can really do with your time. And the reason is that the truth is, I did go through a long story yesterday and talked about Kim Clavers and her asking this question. She's a major trainer for the last 20 years in our industry. And I had the opportunity to spend time with her at one of another company when she was the keynote speaker, and she would keynote speak for, hundreds of different network marketing companies over the 20 years that she was speaking. Now she's actually a member of LifeWave. She kind of retired from being a public speaker and a trainer, and is actually part of LifeWave. So that's pretty good sign to see that somebody of that caliber and had that much choice and knowledge of our industry chose our company. And what she asked was this question to 100 top network marketers in the world, and it's almost 20 different companies that they were in, different products, different pay plans. So the point was, it didn't have to do with the company or the pay plan or the product. It had to do with this one factor. And she asked this great question, and it was 20 different companies with 100 different leaders, and the leaders were defined by people who were making over $100,000 per month in the companies that they were in. Is it true that your income that you get in your business is because of two people in your network that either you brought in or maybe other people brought in, but two people, if you went down and identified in your whole network, could you say that 95% of your income of the $100,000 you're making per month is because of those two people? And 95 out of 100 top-notch networkers, all different companies, said yes. So 95 out of 100, the answer was yes, just two people. And we have a pay plan that is a binary. And the power of the binary is incredible leverage. When you start to get a big network growing, you might have somebody come in on your 1,000th level down, and when they and their group that they're building sell X39s, let's say, we'll just use that as an example, you get 77 points. Just like if somebody you personally brought in, right, your first person you brought in buys an X39, you get 77 points when they do that. Anywhere in either side of your network, you're going to get 77 points for that sale. Infinitely down, incredible leverage. So when a leader comes in that brings in a big body of people, it makes a big splash for your binary payout. And it's powerful. And so our company's pay plans really, really good for that kind of event, because we're paid infinitely down deep. Every time you have, 1,000 points, 330 on one side and 660 on the other side, they subtract those points and you get $50. It's a cycle, but you can cycle 1,000 times a day. And we do have a cap of $25,000 a week you can earn on the binary, which is $100,000 a month, which is a great income. So the key is to really, there are 3 different ways that you can find leaders. One is, and my least favorite, but it is a real one, is you can try to grow and develop one out of somebody. But that's the hardest. It takes years to do. You want to support and help and nurture everyone and train everyone. And sometimes a leader will emerge out of that that's never been that or doesn't really have those qualities, but grow into that. But that's the hardest way. But it's a worthwhile way, and that does occur in times. But the second way, which is really good, is to drill down into your groups. You can go look into your network in your back office and find people that are doing a lot of activity and go down and reach down and work with them much more aggressively and support them. And I believe that leaders are kind of leaders already innately. They have that quality already in some form in their life. And that doesn't have to be from network marketing. They might be an influencer or a doctor with a big network in place, or all different things, but they have that leadership, entrepreneurial ability already, usually. And you just identify those, and then sometimes they're orphaned, and you work with them and they'll blow up, and it even doesn't matter that they're so far down, because it still adds that same amount of points into your binary payout. So it's very powerful. And then the third way, which is my favorite, is to do things that I really enjoy, to live my life in a joyous way, doing the things that I like. And I recommend that each of you do that, and find different kinds of events, to good places to go fishing. I call it fishing for new leaderships, and find them and bump into them. And one way is I go on some cruises with marketers. They're cruises specifically for high-end marketers that go, and you go to an event of a cruise for a week. I like having 4 or 5 days or a week, so that I can create those relationships. The relationships are what really build that connection. And so fish in good fishing holes. If you go where the whales are, the millionaires and the dynamic people, the influencers, Tony Robbins workshops have a lot of very high level entrepreneurs that go to them. As I said, Joe Dispenza has a thought leader that brings very high level people around him. They're great workshops, and there are many, many others. There's hundreds of others. There's probably 20 or 30 going on per month, of different niches of high level thought leaders. Could be people that know a lot about social media and new AI types of way of marketing and things. It doesn't have to just be network marketing. And just go to these events, especially if they're 4 or 5 days, or what you really love. It could be a spiritual thing, an event around your spirituality, and immerse yourself around kindred spirits of an entrepreneur. They have, it's nice that there's some entrepreneurial spirit part of the event, or high-end type of people, and create relationships. This is a relationship business, and you will find people in time. And I work those. I don't kind of like try to pitch them heavily at the event. I usually just collect information, create relationships, and then after the event, I'll call and say, hey, it was great spending time with you. We're, at the event we were at, and we didn't get a chance to talk a lot, but they're about our, life outside of the event. And I am involved with a company with a brand new breakthrough in affordable stem cell patch technology, activating your stem cells with a little patch. And I'm looking for some people, and I have their information, because what I do when I go to the event is collect cards, collect contact information. If they don't have a card, I write their name down and their contact information when I meet them. And I try to come back with as many of that as I can. I hand out my card, of course, but then I ask for their contact information, and the work is all done in the follow-up. And you invite them to take a look and go through the same process that we do with people. And eventually you can meet some very high quality people. So fish in very rich waters where whales are big influencers and things like that, and you'll have a very good chance of finding those people and creating a relationship with them and bringing them into your business. So Gregory, back to you.
I just love how you use stories and metaphors to teach, and the greatest teachers of all time have done that. So I love the concept of, as we talked yesterday, when you're looking for leaders, there's two places to look: in your downline or outside your downline, and you need to know who in your business is going and growing. And we had that discussion yesterday where Robin, she looks through our downline, and she noticed a couple of years ago a lot of activity down on our 30 or maybe 12th level, but down there's this woman, Janet Kiefer, and she calls Janet and says, "Hi, congratulations, I see you're working." Janet goes, "Who are you?" She didn't even know she had an upline. And now she's one of the faster growing SPDs in the company and certainly in our organization. So you want to look within your group, but I love the idea, the concept of fishing. And what comes to mind is the old adage, teach a man, give a man a fish and feed him for a day, teach a man to fish and feed him for a lifetime. So I guess we could say these Thursday morning calls are fishing lessons. Okay, where we're teaching people where and how to fish. And I love, in fact, Kai, you invited us. We're going to be going on a marketing cruise with you, because last time you went there, you signed up some really great people. One of our newest directors in the Live Younger community from that marketing cruise. So we're going to go fishing together. I love that. And and the other way is growing leaders. And Robin and I love growing leaders. Robin's been a student and a trainer in leadership development for years, but that's the slower route. And certainly, equal opportunity, but it's the slower route. Now, yesterday you used the metaphor that I've used a lot, and it's an industry metaphor that, Liz reminded me, where we both might have heard it the first time like 30 years ago. But I wanted to talk briefly about, the oyster and the pearl. And because what you're looking for is the pearls are your leaders. And you talked yesterday about, looking, you got to shuck the oyster to find the pearls, but you know what? Every oyster doesn't have one. And what I kind of put out in front of everyone is, if I were to give you a bucket of oysters and say, I guarantee that there's a pearl in one of them, how many of those oysters would you go through? And it would be lots of them, right? It'd be the whole bucket, right? And you might be lucky, and the first one you open, there's the pearl. But you might be like the rest of us, you got to go through at least half the bucket, maybe 2/3, to find that pearl. And what is that pearl worth? I mean, what was it worth for us to find a Janet Kiefer or to find a Connie Lucas, neither of which we've personally sponsored? It's that type of action. And so I wanted to, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for a moment and take everyone to our favorite training site, liveyoungersuccess.com. And in the What's New section, a couple of months ago, we did something here. And God, where was it? I went past it. I went too fast. This manager to director worksheet. And by the way, here's this training by Connie Lucas, Where's the Juice, where she teaches you how to go through your back office, looking through 3 different reports to help find the leaders that are emerging, which, probably are not personally sponsored by you. Probably 4 out of the 5 major leaders, as you've said, Kai, that I've had in my various organizations over the years were not personally sponsored by me. I've been fortunate to sponsor a few key leaders that became one of those. But, most of the key leaders I've had were down multiple layers. And as you said, in a binary, it doesn't matter whether they're on your first level or your 33rd or 333rd level, they count the same. Now, there is a beauty within our compensation, which is a hybrid binary where we get matching bonuses, and those matching bonuses really add up. So you want to look for leaders, and I want to encourage everyone to consider, downloading this manager director worksheet. And this is your oyster list, okay? Because some of the fastest growing groups in LifeWave are using this worksheet, and when a brand new person joins, or someone that's maybe joined and now has decided to go to work, here's the work. The work is sponsoring 20 people. I can almost guarantee if you drill down and personally sponsor 20 people deep, you're going to end up with one or two of those pearls, or someone you sponsor is going to bring in one or two of those pearls, and your business is going to go into what we call, momentum, or it's going to hit critical mass, which by God's grace, that's where your business is, Kai. That's where our business is. We couldn't stop it if we tried. Okay. There's so many of you that are on this call today, and so many leaders within the Live Younger, Greater Live Younger community are so impassioned about LifeWave, about changing lives and changing the trajectory of people's health and the trajectory of people's wealth, that it wouldn't matter, Kai, if you and I and Robin and Lynette sailed off into the sunset, our businesses would continue to grow. So I just wanted to point this out, that this is a very valuable tool for you when and we're mixing metaphors, when you're going fishing. Okay, you're fishing for oysters and pearls, but it's the same concept. So, I'll shoot it back to you, Kai, and see if you have any additional anything you wanted to share.
Okay, Gregory, just for everyone's historical education, it was Big Al. He was a major trainer. Big Al is the one that came up with the pearl story.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he was really fun.
Yeah.
He had another story that I really liked, and it could apply to patching parties. He would drive into a town, where he maybe had a just new distributor, and one distributor, and he'd go to that town, Big Al, and he'd say, okay, are you ready to get your business off the ground this week? I'm not talking about 6 months from now, 1 year from now, this week. And the person would go, if they said yes, then he'd go for it. And if they say, nah, I'm gonna, only part-time or whatever, then he wouldn't go for it. But if they said, yeah, I'm really hungry, I really want it, he said, okay, I want you to call everybody on your phone. This was before we had these apps that you could send out with the InTouch app, but now you just send out, he said, I want you to go through your whole directory on your phone. And I want you to call and invite everyone that I'm here in town, and we're gonna have a meeting tonight. And so they do this, and they get, and I want you to tell them to carpool, bring each other, bait them with we'll go out for gelato afterwards or something, so that, that they come, because if you say, meet me there, they don't. And so they would come, and he'd get maybe 6, 7, 8 people, and you can do a little patch party, demonstrate the patch, ask anybody in pain in the audience, and do the whole thing. And then at the end, he'd do a business thing saying, this is an incredible product, but we want to change your finance. I don't like to call it wealth. I like to call it financial health. So there's the physical body health, which is the product. And then there's the financial health, which is the network marketing business opportunity. He said, look, I'm going to be here for the week, and we're going to do a meeting tomorrow night. And if you get on the phone, everyone, how many people would like to get their product free, or even make some really good money by the end of the week? I'm going to teach you how to do it right now. And he said, we're going to do another meeting, another patch party. Everyone here, could you bring at least 3 people, maybe 4 or 5? This person I just brought, let's use the name John, he invited people, and he got 7 here in one day. You can bring 3 people. This isn't something we're going to take years to do. We're going to do it this week. And so then basically the average would be 3 people. So they had 27 people, they'd have 21 people at the next meeting. Some people would bring 6, 7, some people bring 1, some people bring none. But, and then he'd do the same thing. We'll maybe give 1 day. He said, we're going to take a day off, but we're going to do a meeting 2 days from now, not tomorrow night, but the next night, I'd like you to do the same thing. And by the time the week would end, he'd have 100 people at a meeting. And people be making money. They'd be standing up and saying, wow, I just started it, 4 or 5 days ago, and I've already made $400 or $500. I'm getting my product free and I'm actually making some money. And that would get people excited about their financial health. And so Big Al used to do that. That's how he built his businesses. So think really in a fun and outside of the box way. And the one other thing I want to share with everybody is take your time with the leaders. You have to be patient. It has to be the right timing for them. And so you want to play the long game. I used to drip on people, I learned it from the guy who brought me in. Jeff Brakey was my teacher at the time. This was many years ago, 45 years ago. And he brought me into a company. I was not into it at the time. He approached me and he said, well, I need to get some product actually to qualify. Can I send it to you as a gift? And can I talk to you every 3 or 4 months and tell you how things are going for me? Not ask you like, do you want to join, but just, just us talk about how things are going for me. And I said, yeah, sure. And he sent me some product and he called me every 3 or 4 months and say what was going on for him. And I said, still not interested right now. In about 1.5 years, things changed in my life. And he called me one of those, the 3rd time. And I said, you know what? I would be willing to look at it right now. Things have shifted for me and I'm kind of open. And I became 90% of the company. He made about $100,000 a month because of my group. It's worth taking the time to play the slow game with people. So don't be too pushy, just be available and connected so that when things in their life shift, they're like, oh, this is a person who's really steady and consistent and they weren't pushy with me. And I'd like to work with someone like that. And I can tell they're professional. So that's a really good way. And I've done that for many years now, and that's worked really well.
That's awesome, Kai. And there's kind of another dimension to looking for leaders that I'd like to invite Robin in to share about. And I'm going to mute my line, Robin, because, Robin's got a perspective on looking for leaders and developing leaders. So I'm going to mute mine so you can unmute yours.
That's what happens when we're in the same room. So you need to mute again, hon. Okay. Well, Kai, love it. You guys see why I call him Yoda. I have learned much from this great man, great wisdom and experience. And I just want to identify a few things that he said that I just so think are incredibly important that I talk about all the time. He goes to places that he loves to go to, and then he ends up meeting the kind of people that he'd like to meet and builds relationships. He doesn't jump on them. And, one of the landmines that us networkers have sometimes is we talk too much, we say too much, but, it's about creating curiosity and developing the relationship. And I remember when Kai was visiting here several years ago, and he was talking about how he does this. He'll go to a hot springs or a yoga retreat or something. And at the end of it, he'll say to someone, I've really enjoyed my time with you over this weekend, and I'd love to connect with you later. I think I have something that you might be interested in. So creating curiosity, but he developed relationship first. So I want to, and fishing. I love fishing. This kind of fishing, and empowering people with fishing. And what Gregory was referring to is when I'm helping someone get started, and Gregory shares this often, he goes, we have the opportunity in our business model to literally cherry pick our business partners. And Gregory says, pick ye wisely. In conventional business, who shows up in the door is who you do business with. In this business, we can really be intentional and cherry pick who we want to do business with. And so I invite people to really write down a list of qualities and characteristics of the kind of people you want. And you get to pick. I know what I don't want, and I don't put that on my list, but I'm clear that I don't want victims or whiners. But what I do want, some of the things I have on my list, is I want professionals. I want people that are coachable and willing to be a student. I want people that are willing to plug into a system. I want people that are looking for what we have. And Kai said it really beautifully about the timing. I'm looking for people that are ready to change now. I mean, how many of us is LifeWave an answer to a prayer? And so being really clear on what you're looking for. And my ultimate one is when I hold up, caller ID, it's like, oh my gosh, it's Kai on the phone. I'm excited to pick up the phone. And with your teammates, it's like when someone calls and this person that's calling you, oh yeah, they only call me when they're ready to pitch me on something. You don't want to be one of those. And that's the beauty and power of the relationships. And the timing has to be right. And if it's someone really important, do what Kai did. You just stay connected and ask permission. Kai talks about permission marketing. Would it be okay if I stayed in touch with you? There's a lot of exciting things going on in our company. It's called the darling of the industry. We're the fastest growing company in the world at this time. People don't like to miss out, good old FOMO, fear of missing out. And so really get connected with what's going on. And on Tuesday, I am really excited that we get to go be at the Welcome Center and for the ribbon cutting and for me to really be in this space where we get to see through David's eyes and see what the future looks like. And we get to share that vision with people. And after our conference, everybody's welcome to come to the Welcome Center. And we're going to be spending time there. So really being intentional. And I have people sometimes saying, I've run out of leads. I don't know who to talk to. Put that list together and share it with people that care about you and say, I have this, I'm very serious about this business I'm in. We're going places. We need good people. I'm looking for 3, just pick a number, 3 key leaders that have these qualities and characteristics. If you know anyone that fits those, would you connect me? And they might say, oh my gosh, that's me, but the third party, keeping a little distance from those people can be, the easiest thing to do. So putting it in writing and sharing it and being intentional that you're looking for a few key leaders that have these characteristics and create your own list of what you want. And what else did I want to say, honey?
The law of attraction.
The law of attraction. Okay, I'm going to share my story I shared yesterday. Many, many years ago, Shakti Gawain, who wrote the book Creative Visualizations, was a client of mine at a consulting firm. And I remember sitting in this little room talking to her, and it was a personal conversation. And this, I didn't get married till I was 51. So I've been, on the hunt for a lot. I don't say on the hunt. I knew I would find a partner. I just didn't know it would take as long as it did, but I'm glad I waited because I wasn't willing to settle. But I had this list of things I wanted. And, I shared it with her. I want someone that's this and someone that's this. And she said, Robin, when you become that, you will attract that. And, be who you want to attract. And so it stuck with me all these years. I was in my, I don't know, late 20s at the time. So it's been with me for a very long time. And it's really true. The law of attraction and the law of intention are very powerful in our business. And I remember several years ago, Connie Lucas said, I want to be an SPD, but I don't know how I'm going to get this volume. And I said, you just keep holding that intention. She goes, I'm a hairdresser, I don't have these kind of contacts. So you just keep holding that intention. And someone came in third level to her. And I said, and it was an influencer. I said, Connie, there it is. And she didn't even know who he was. And sure enough, it got her up to SPD. So we just don't know. We just don't know. And it's so powerful. And right now, because of where the timing of the company's at and how exciting things are, and sadly, a lot of other companies are not doing well right now. LifeWave is doing extremely well. And a lot of people are open and looking that weren't open and looking before. I mean, I have a friend that I've stayed in touch with for decades, and she's been with this one company for 30 some odd years. And unfortunately, things aren't going really well right now with them. So I just stay in touch. And I'm going to, be in the same city where she lives And we'll be visiting and just continuing to develop the relationship. You never know, because leaders look for lifeboats when they know what's going on. So Gregory, I'll turn it back to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna, I just want to comment about what you said about looking for leaders and know it's easier to find what you're looking for when you know what you're looking for. Okay, it's like if you're looking for a blue SUV, you'll be looking for blue SUVs. If you're looking for a leader and you know what characteristics that's teachable, that's fun, that has high integrity,
It shares values that you want to walk the beaches of the world with. Kai, Lynette, Gregory, and I have been to some of those amazing places in the world. And so you want to be with people you love and share these great opportunities. Sorry, I cut you off, hon.
No, you didn't. That was perfect.
Okay, and there was one thing I just wanted to share. I'm looking at the chat and people are, this is really helpful for a lot of people. You know, our business is such a gift, and people can start anywhere with no background at all. And we're just looking for people that are looking for something, whether it's, we like to use, if there's one thing that could be better in your health that would make the biggest difference, what would that be? And how would that change your life? And then ask the same question about lifestyle, because that will lead you to product. And if you could change something in your lifestyle to have more of what you really want, what would it be? And how would that change your life? Because we are in the lifestyle business. We get to design our dream lifestyle. What do you want? How do you want to live? And a lot of times people say, well, I'm too busy. And I might say, is that the way you always want to be? Do you want to keep it busy, or are you ready to make a change in the trajectory of where you are? So back to you, honey, because I'm looking at the time.
Okay, good. Hold on just one second.
And I'll mute.
I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And here we go. And you mute yours. There we go. And I'm going, here we go, share screen. I'm going to take us back to, we're going to shift gears and we're going to talk about conference preparation. And so in the What's New section of Live Younger Success, Liz Hodge has been working behind the scenes and creating new stuff for us like she loves to do. And so Liz, I'm going to invite you to unmute and I'll spotlight you, and I'm going to take people to click on the conference section, because look at that. There's a countdown timer. And Liz, if you raise your hand, I'll be able to see you and promote you out to spotlight you so people can see you. Let's see, is that working? No.
I raised my hand.
Anyway, Liz, are you there? Oh, there, you raised your hand, view, and Liz. It's not working so well for me.
That's
Well,
all
Liz,
right.
why don't
You're
you start
screen sharing,
talking about what we created here, and I'll find you.
I did spotlight her, honey.
Okay, good. Okay, so Liz has done some work on the October conference section, and it's time for us to start preparing for the conference. We have 35 days, 4 hours and 37 minutes. So go ahead, Liz.
Well, first of all, I want to remind everyone that if you're not planning to attend live, get your virtual tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll be able to either watch it live from where you are, and or you'll be able to later go back to watch it if you can't join us on that particular day. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's point one. And when you click to register, it takes you right over there to it. You don't need to do that, Gregory, but it takes you right over to the registration page to buy your virtual ticket. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing is we've got what you're going to need for conference essentials, whether you're attending or virtual. These are going to be things that you're going to want to have. Now, we've brought over the document that we had last year and updated it for this year. So in the first section, all of those links on this page are clickable, just so you know. The conference essentials list is right there, and you can download it as a PDF, and then you can print it out if you wanted to. Okay. And those are things to bring, and, how to connect with people, etc. So that's a great list that we put together from last year. The next section is if you're going to attend, well, make sure you get your transportation set up ahead of time, because it's so much easier when you travel, so that you get off the plane, go get your luggage, and now you've got your transportation and you go right to where you're going to be picked up. Okay. So we've got Uber and Lyft there. There may be other shuttles and stuff that you'll want to connect with. I'm not sure if the Hilton Anatole has shuttle service or not, but you can check on their website. The other thing is, if you don't have a hotel room already, then you can, I don't think that there's any more rooms left. But there's some hotels nearby. Okay. You may need to get a car if you're going to be driving back and forth. That's going to be the easiest way. And I see several people saying that, yes, the Hilton does have a shuttle service. So check with that and see what their schedule is for when you're arriving. Okay. So the next thing is food options. Okay. Well, there's not a lot of restaurants in the vicinity there, especially not in walking distance. So I know that they're going to be doing some box lunches, but you may want to order directly from the hotel for your breakfast. So you've got some things there. I'm sure that they'll have those walk-in kiosks where you can grab some coffee and maybe a Danish or some fruit or something. But there's also Uber Eats, Grubhub, and DoorDash. Now, if you click on any of those links, Gregory, you don't need to do that now, but when you click on any of those, it goes to what's in Dallas, not in the US. So that's specifically targeted for Dallas. And then there's some restaurants. There's a Denny's, a Subway, and there's a Cidercades. Now, the Denny's, just what FYI, is open 24 hours a day. And that's really close to the Hilton Anatole. Okay. So, and then the Cidercades looks like it's a fun place. So maybe after the events, one of the evenings, you might want to go there. Okay. Slide it down, please, Gregory. The next big thing is event ticket exchange. So if you have a ticket that you are not able to go, you want to click on the event ticket exchange and put your information there. If you're looking for a roommate or you're looking to buy a ticket, you can do that there as well. And then we've got the virtual event registration again, which is right there. The other thing is now watch parties. And so we need some input for the watch parties. So Gregory, if you would click on that, that, I guess I don't have that up. Okay, so ideas. So we need ideas. So if you have ideas, why don't you post them in the Live Younger YouTube, and I'll grab them from there and we'll add them onto the ideas. One would be, have a potluck, or maybe you just have drinks and, BYOS, bring your own sandwich, whatever you want to do. And you might also want to get some of the LifeWave tools, the Live Younger tools that we have available, so that you can have handouts for people that you invite to come over. So all of these things are different ideas, and let's enjoy the conference.
Beautiful. Thank you, Liz. This is so wonderful. And the good news is let's see if I can just find my back button here. We still have 35 days and 4 hours. So we have plenty of time. So probably next week we'll start doing, we had thought about doing some discussion and training on watch parties. I think we're going to push that off to next week. because I think we had a juicy discussion. Thank you very much, Kai, Robin, for the looking for leaders. And on this call, we like to just kind of open it up at the end, for the second part of it. And so if you have something you'd like to, I see that Dolly, you had your hand up. Did you have a question for us?
Yes, I went to get my virtual ticket a couple of weeks ago, I think it was. And when I got to do the payment, I don't use PayPal and it wouldn't let me use my credit card. Was I doing something wrong?
Dolly, call customer service and they'll take care of you.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
We changed that and it was just PayPal and now you can use your credit card. You can try again or you can
I
call
will.
customer service.
Okay, I'll do that first. Thank you, Robin.
Good morning, Sarah. You had a question? You're muted, dear. There you go.
When we looked first at another hotel, I
Uh-huh.
asked about parking at Anatole and they said it's $25 to $45 a day, depending on the day, and they don't announce it till that day.
Okay.
So we
Well,
thought about Ubering. We did end up with
Yeah,
a room at
It's probably,
Anatole.
it's
but-
probably cheaper to Uber than to park.
I think so, especially if you leave and they charge you twice, which I don't know if they do or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. We'll find out more about that. We have a call later on today with our general manager for North America, at least for the US and Canada, Garrett, and we're going to be discussing, some of the conference issues, and parking will be one of them. And I just want to note that food is another one. We're in discussion with the company because we want everybody to have their basic needs taken care of, food and shelter, and have a good time. And I know the company's focused on that. And so we'll keep you posted on the evolution of those discussions. And I know they're planning on doing some box lunches. And I know that on Saturday evening, there's going to be a big celebration. There's going to be recognition inside. Then we're going to go outside for a big celebration. I'm pretty sure there's going to be live music and there's going to be food. And so, but we will keep you posted. Liz, go ahead, please.
I was just gonna mention that if people are staying at other hotels, you might want to check with them on getting an Uber together because it will make it more affordable for everyone.
Yeah.
Because they don't charge per person, they charge per vehicle.
Good.
Hey, good morning, Cameron.
Hey, good morning, Gregory. I called LifeWave yesterday and they said registration for the conference is on October 16th, but they didn't know what time. And I was wondering, do we know what is going to determine who gets into the main room and who is going to be sort of moved to the outer room where there's only a screen? Is there any criteria for that? Or is it based on registration?
I don't know the criteria for that. So
right.
we'll TBD, to be determined. And
Okay.
But thanks for bringing that up. I add that to my list for a discussion with Garrett today.
Awesome. And so, yeah, they told me that conference does start officially on the 17th. Is that correct?
Okay.
8 a.m. and then go till 8 p.m. on the 19th?
I'm not looking at the calendar, but I know it starts officially on Friday and it goes all day Saturday. There's a Thursday evening. I'm going to turn the call over to Robin because one of our contractors is here.
Yeah. Okay. So the welcome reception is Thursday night, whatever
Right.
date that is. The conference is all day Friday and Saturday. And there's a morning and afternoon session both days. There'll be a little break on Saturday and then we'll have our celebration because we have so many people. Doing a sit-down dinner isn't going to work. We're going to keep you posted on what is unfolding with the details as far as that goes. So stay connected. We'll get it all figured out and we'll be communicating with you when we get the details. We'll get some today and we'll continue to get more. Okay?
Oh, okay,
Thursday's
please.
the 17th, by the way.
Thursday is the
Right.
17th. I think there might have been a typo in that communication. I sent a message to the events department, just to clarify that for everybody. It starts on the 17th with a welcome reception. And, you know, this is, not only is it the 20th anniversary, which is huge. Most network marketing companies don't make it to 5 years. And the fact that we've been around for 20 years is very significant. And David, he loves surprises. So we're going to have a lot of wonderful surprises. We're also going to have, you know, the scientists with the new technology sharing the studies. And I think everyone's heard this new technology. David said he's never had this happen. He's had 90, 95%, 100% of people got positive results in an average of 15 seconds. So are we in the right place at the right time or what? Okay. Emily, then Jackie, then Diane. You want to unmute your line? Thank you.
Okay, so I have my virtual ticket and I want to invite people to my home to watch this with me. Now, do they need a ticket too, or are they're okay on my ticket?
They don't need one, Emily, but if they're brand partners, we recommend and invite them to get one, because you're going to have several weeks after the event to watch replays. And that way they can host their own watch parties or share segments with people that are prospects for them or teammates. So have fun getting together. And if you're a brand partner going to a watch party, we really invite you to have your own ticket so you can watch over the next several weeks post-conference.
And one other thing, Robin, I put a notice in the chat about my Canadian friends. And
Yes.
I spoke with Lavelle, and Lavelle said the pricing is the same in Canada as it is in America. But one of these friends has been told by another LifeWave person that if they sign up with the Toronto, that they can get Canadian pricing. So
If they say that again, Emily, if they sign up with a what?
a woman, a person, I don't know, woman or man, a person from Toronto who's a LifeWave distributor. I don't know what level she is,
Yeah.
but I speak with these people every single day for the past 7 years. And I have a really loving connection, strong connection with them. And I would love them to be on my team. So, but they're told that they can get Canadian pricing to do it, to sign up with person in Toronto.
The price is the same for everyone around the world.
That's right.
Yeah. It's the same price. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Jackie.
Hi, hi, good morning. Thank you so much for this call. It's the first time I've been on the call. I'm so grateful that you had the spreadsheet because I didn't get the ticket, but I now have a ticket. So I'm actually coming to the event for the first time. I'm super excited. And I just removed my name for a list, and I'm sleeping with a bunch of strangers. So woo woo, I'm excited. I think Mary.
That
Mary
sounds
Beth.
interesting.
Yeah. I don't sleep around normally, but today I am. And yeah, the Canadian prices, it's all the same. It just is American, it turns into Canadian dollars. My question is, because I haven't been, so when is it assigned seating, or like, because I'm coming in on Thursday afternoon, or do you just register and wherever you sit, you sit? Is that how it works?
We have a brand new events person. Last year it was a little bit of a fiasco. It's going to be way different this year, you guys. Thank goodness. It'll be done very professionally. They typically reserve seats up front for the top leaders, but there aren't any other reserve seats. Typically, I don't know what they're going to do, but that's my assumption. So I can't say for sure, but you know, it's always good to get there early. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's
Great.
Julianne that I'm rooming with. And then another question, if any, like, are tickets to the real event, are they still transferable if people have them, or no?
Yes. Yes, they are still transferable. The date has passed. If you are, if you ranked up to a new position, the date is September 15th for people that have tickets. But if you transfer tickets, it was September 1st to be
Right.
recognized at the event. But yes, you can still transfer tickets.
Okay, great. So if I have
And
somebody else that
thank-
wants to
and
go, okay.
Thank you, Liz, for creating that amazing website, liveyoungerevents.com. Please go there. There's room share, there's ticket transfers available. There seems to be tickets for everyone that wants them.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you so much. I just removed my name from there because I'm all set. Thank you so
Good.
much.
Great, you're all set. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yay.
Look forward to meeting you in
Okay.
person.
And wonderful. Yes, I look forward to, and you get to meet your LifeWave family, and I think you're going to be very impressed. Very, I am. Okay, Diane. Thanks, Jackie.
I just want to, because I plan on coming as well, and I'm very excited. And Thursday night is the reception, you said, and then it
Correct.
ends on Saturday evening, 5-ish.
Well, it ends and then there's a few hour break and then there's going to be the celebration. And so
Oh,
there's going to be a party Saturday night.
all right.
Okay? Yeah. We got
Much,
to, you know, kind of move off all the steam we've built up over the last few days from the event. Okay. All right. Any other hands from anybody? Any other comments? Or
Yes,
questions? Yes, go ahead.
yes.
Yes, Liz.
I'm reading in the chat and somebody asked, do you need to have a special TV to watch the conference? You need to have either a smart TV that you can add a URL onto and or do attach your laptop with a HDMI cable, and then you'll be able to see it on your big screen TV.
Great, great. Okay, thank you, Liz. And typically what we do, oh, Donna, you've got your hand up. Your turn. You want to unmute your line?
Yes, I had another client and I'm off now. I think they put it in the chat for me, the events that has the page with all of the spreadsheets. And where was the list of the things to bring to the conference? The prep.
It's right. Liz, you want to answer?
I see
It's
that
on the liveyoungersuccess.com events page. I mean, not events page, liveyoungersuccess.com, what's new.
Oh, can you put that in the chat, please? Liz?
I think it's there now.
Yes. Thank you, Rafael. And
Success.
this is an invitation to all of you that are relatively new with the Live Younger community. The liveyoungersuccess.com website is our training website for our brand partners. And there's a what's new section that I invite you to look at really regularly because it's very dynamic. Liz is very busy giving you all the updated information and having it easily accessible at your fingertips. So we are in depth of gratitude to the major support Liz is on our team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, yay. And on Thursdays, we reserve this time after our Thursday morning business chat for any business questions about anything. It could be totally different than talking about conference or talking about looking for leaders. So if you have any business questions, we'll be here for a few more minutes and you can raise your hand and we'd be happy to be there for you. Okay. I don't see any hands. Oh, there's one. Emily. Oh, you just muted and you were unmuted. There you go. Great.
Unmuted. I want to know, do most people start an LLC to get a new bank account and to really run the business where the accounting and taxes and all of that is, I'm looking for my next steps to
Okay.
really
So
get involved in business.
that's a great question. You want to treat it like a business. And so you want to definitely separate your personal and your business expenses. A lot of people have a business account. As far as how you set yourself up, you could be a sole proprietor, you could be an LLC, you could be incorporated. It's really your personal tax preference. So we recommend you talk to your tax person and decide which legal entity you want to have. But
Okay.
for business reasons, separating your personal and business expenses is really important. And we'll get into more of that conversation down the road when we do a little tax planning, because we like to do that every year and share some of the great benefits we have with our business model for deductions and for tax planning. So I do recommend you have a separate bank account, a separate business credit card. You keep your business expenses separate from your personal. That'll make your life a lot easier. Okay?
Bank account does not have to be a business account, though. It can just be a separate bank account.
That
And
you
just
only
use it that
use
way.
for business. Yeah. Because when you set up a business account, they make a big deal out of that and you need all kinds of stuff. Just a separate account. Thank you, Liz, for that clarification. That's a big one. Okay, Sunshower, you're next.
With our new packs that are coming up in October.
Yeah.
What happens to a person that signs up as a bronze now? How do they fit into the scheme of things?
Well, they can become a silver at any time. They can become a gold. And well, actually, it's the core, the premium, and what's the middle one?
Advanced.
Advanced, core, advanced, and premium. So CAP. And we're going to hear more about those things as time unfolds. There is discussion at the company. I know they've said that you can't upgrade from platinum to diamond, but that may be a possibility, is what I'm hearing. So we'll keep you posted as those kinds of things change. I know Meredith was addressing that as a highly likely possibility, but same thing would probably be true with bronze. So yes, and people can come in with $25 still. They can't come in with a bronze kit, but they can come in with 25. They can add an X39. The sponsor doesn't get a product introduction bonus unless they get one of the 3, packs that will be available though. Okay.
That is of September 30th.
Yes, September
That's when
30th.
that- And the reason it goes into effect September 30th is that's the beginning of a brand new pay period.
Yes. Great. Thank you, Liz. Okay, Jada. Hi. You want to unmute, hon? Or let's see, Donna, did you get taken care of? Okay.
Okay.
No, I have another question, but that's okay. Go ahead, Jada.
Okay. Couple questions. The first one, I have a brand partner. She called yesterday. She's a gold. She was up on the impression that she had to make a change by September 30th and upgrade. And I told her that I didn't think so. That she can. Oh, she does?
No, she does not. She's just
okay. Good.
She's just fine. Yep.
Okay, that's what I told her. Second thing is, I've got to get over this hurdle. I've got to get over this complex. I've been doing networking for years, but I was doing it Jada's way. And LifeWave and dealing with being with on you and Greg's team have really opened my eyes, even with LaBelle and Majay, is starting all over again, learning how to be a true leader. And I'm wanting to bring people on that's, all kind. They have experience in this. And the reason why I'm having a problem is because I had some awesome, 2 awesome people in my group. And because I didn't know anything about the technology for computers and wasn't savvy with that, they left. They left my group and went to another group in the business. And so since then I've struggled. Usually I don't let things like that bother me, but it does when it comes to me going forward and being a good leader. So what do I do?
Okay. So this is a team sport, everybody. If you try to do it alone, it will take longer, it's harder, it's not as much fun and not nearly as successful. And we all have different skills. And you have so many other amazing skills, Jada, but you want to embrace your team and let your team support your people in addition to your support. And so don't try to do it alone. Really, really include and incorporate your support team, which is your upline, and involve them and reach out until you find someone that's a right fit for that leader, that person, and to fulfill whatever their needs are.
Okay, I have an awesome sponsor, but right now it's just me and her. She's me and her. She helps me tremendously, and we both, like you said, I have some things I'm experienced with, and I help her, and she does the same with me. But we do need to reach out to you and Greg, I believe, because we don't have anybody else anymore. Everybody else has faded out.
I was gonna say, what am I, chopped liver?
No, you are, no, absolutely not. You
Yes.
know how I feel about you and Greg.
Yes. Well, we are, this is a team sport. You want to reach out to your next, your sponsor and your sponsor, staying in your line of sponsorship. And if there's no one there, just keep reaching up until you get help, because there's always someone that's there to help you. Okay. Unless you
Okay.
came 20 years ago and you're the first person direct to the company, you've just got the company, but all of you have lots of people to reach out to. Okay.
Okay. All right then. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Yeah.
you guys.
Yes, we appreciate you too. And I'm so glad you're doing so well.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're a miracle story. Okay, Donna, you're on, Donna, and then we'll finish up with Donna because we're at the top of the hour.
Robin, thanks very much. I had a question about the fact of, do we need to have a team password?
No.
Because when people do their, set up their accounts or whatever, do we want to have a team password to be able to stay consistent to help them? Or is that something they just pick their own password?
Well, for their back offices, if that's what you're talking about.
Yes, yes.
I mean, I recommend that everyone gets the login information for the people that you're working with. We can't affect their account because we don't have their credit card CVV, but I look at a lot of different people's back office to look for who's close to a goal. A lot of times people don't realize they only need one more silver, whatever. I watch out for a lot of people that I work with, but I know, one team has a formula that they use, another team has another formula, ABC 1, 2, 3, X, whatever you can choose, so it's easy, but again, get the login information for people you work with. There isn't a team recommended one.
Okay.
You can pick out what fits.
Most of my customers are not very computer savvy. So it's really hard if they go in and set themselves up and then I can't ever help them to figure out how to do it. The other thing is that I had a client that set up somebody else. Well, the other person know how to set up. So she signed up under her, but is there a way I can go in to see that she got a bonus or a commission from that and help her get set up? Because she is not computer savvy. So
ask permission to get the login information and then you'll be able to help.
Okay, I'll do that.
I always ask permission, and out of hundreds and hundreds of people that I've worked with, I only have one person that hasn't given me that information. Yeah.
Okay. Those are and then how do I look at my back office to find out when I am going to be, like, when I need to order again? I know that I have the little green check, but can I move my dates of my orders so that I make sure I'm set up correctly?
You can definitely move your dates, but if you go in your back office and you look under orders, you'll see when your last order was, and you have 31 days. Now, if you have customers, you go into the commissions tab under volumes and you look under PV. If your PV is 55 or more, because you have customers, you don't need to order.
We don't need to order. So these are some of the little questions
you have to have a minimum of 55 in personal volume. And so every time you go to that PV column, it's a blue link. Every time it's blue, it means it's live link. You can open it up and see where that information is from. But everybody needs to stay active with a minimum of 55. As a manager and above, it's 110. And that's your purchases plus your customers' purchases. Okay, we're going to take.
And that's every 31 days that you have to have it within.
The rolling 31 days. Thank you, Liz. Okay, Lavelle, we're ending up with you. Go for it.
Okay, thanks, Jada. If you like, you can work sideline with us again. Jada, I think I still have your number in my phone. Jada, yeah, I do have it. It's a 540 number, right, Jada? If you like, you can still work sideline, of course, anytime.
Great. Well, we have this beautiful, generous community, and Helen likes to call us each cross-line cousins. And people, you guys are so generous and so willing to be of support. It's beautiful. So thank you all for being here today. Again, thank you, Kai. Thank you, Gregory, for your wisdom on the call. Between the two of them, they have, close to 100 years of experience. We have great wisdom in our team leadership here. So thank you, everyone. Have a lovely weekend. It's Thursday. We will see you again on Monday. Bye,
We'll see you on Sunday too with Doc Talk.
Doc Talk is on Sunday, and that's an amazing call. So you can unmute and say thank you, goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ellen.
Thank you.
God bless
Paul.
everybody.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Bye, thank you.
Thanks
Hey,
so much.
thanks, Kai. Thanks,
Thank
Kai.
you.
Thank you.
You're the best, brother.
¿verdad? Pones en el cuerpo donde
Hey,
lo pones, ¿verdad?
Bishop.
Y
Hey,
no,
Bishop.
nomás
Go
agarra la
find
aguja y
some
te quita.
leaders.
Vaya,
Everybody.
Hey, Larry. Hey, Angela.
sí, y me dijo, está bien, ok. Ay, no, bueno,